What are people talking about here? Infinifail says that I used to work out in my college years. I was jacked. That's actually a true statement. It's actually a true statement. I used to work out like for about 2 years. I was lifting weights heavily to the point where I was taking the protein shakes, creatine shakes, and I was lifting weights, you know, everything, bench press, the squats. I was doing everything crazy. And I was jacked to the point where like people were like, oh shit, like Phil looks like he's ripped. But then I stopped doing it for various reasons. I've talked about them before. I was doing it too much and I almost had a fucking blood vessel pop in my fucking head and end up in the hospital. That wasn't good. Sometimes when I was younger, I would do things like to the extreme, and that was the problem. I didn't know about moderation back then. So for me, I'm gonna work out. I'm not just gonna work out. I'm gonna fucking go crazy with every possible thing that I could do to work out and get jacked and shit. And it's funny because, you know, I haven't worked out in a million years, but I still, you know, you look at me, you know, full my arms, you can still see the muscles and stuff on my arm. I'm still kind of, you know, I've got that on my body, and I probably will have that for the rest of my life. My dad used to be an actual bodybuilder, and he, even now, he hasn't worked out in like 20 years, but he's still, you look at him, he looks buff. You still retain some of that muscle, even if you don't keep doing it for the rest of your life. So that's good. All right. No, I didn't use bull shark testosterone. That stuff wasn't popular back then. I mean, we're talking early 2000s. Back then, the creatine was creatine's the new thing. You gotta do creatine. They thought it was this fucking catchphrase, and everyone had to do it. All right. All right, folks. Here we go. Yes, my dad was a bodybuilder. He wasn't a professional bodybuilder, but it was his hobby. He loved to lift weights, and he was one of those meatheads who would go to the gym and go crazy lifting weights and shit. Because he worked at a company, a shipping company. So he had to move heavy loads of freight all the time. So doing that in the free time helped him at his job.